everyone. Welcome back to the Law of Attraction Tribe podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Keith. All right, so I wanted to put this episode out because I just had the most amazing call in my Quantum Catalyst Mastermind. So thank you to all of the women in that call for being so vulnerable and sharing and holding space because we're all going through stuff right now. And I have a feeling if you're listening to this podcast, it's because you are too. And I want to shed some light on that and talk about the blood moon and lunar eclipse that we have this week on March 14th. So if you're listening to this before March 14th or on March 14th, it's definitely going to resonate probably. If you're listening to it after March 14th, that's okay. This energy is probably going to be potent for a while. We are heading into eclipse season, and I'm going to give you a technique that is very helpful in calming your emotions, regulating your nervous system. We go super, super, super deep into this in the mastermind, but I want to give you just a little quick something that you can use when this comes up. And full moons and eclipse season, retrograde, all that stuff tends to be a time when emotions are high, stress is high, anxiety. So it's just good to have quick and easy techniques to manage that. So the blood moon, what the hell is the blood moon? So this moon, the blood moon, typically involves some sort of shedding or releasing. So this is very typical of full moons. It's a way to let go and release whatever you've been holding on to, emotional baggage, emotions, things that are out of alignment with your higher timeline or with the person that you want to be, the life that you want to create for yourself. So this could be a person that is, not serving your highest good, and it's time to move on from that relationship or change something. It could be something that seems like it's falling apart where you're like, why is this happening to me? There could be a lot of drama, or you could just be feeling very emotional, resentful, especially if you've been pushing it down and not dealing with it head on. So it's really about letting go. This is an opportunity not to sit here and manifest and call in new things. We're going to do that with the new moon. This is to shed, to let go of all of these things that are weighing you down, to take this burden off of your shoulders. So this full moon is not only the blood moon, but there's also a partial lunar eclipse. And the way that I look at lunar eclipses, especially this one right now at this point in time, is as the moon is eclipsed, it's like there is a moment of pause where everything stops. It's like a reset. And what the vision that comes to mind is like restarting your computer. So, when your computer starts acting all glitchy and slow, what's the first thing you do to fix it? You do a restart, right? You turn it off and it goes dark for a moment, and then it reboots. The light comes back on, it updates the programs, and it starts working better, right? More efficient. This is kind of what's happening with your life, with the world. It's a reset, it's a pause, and it's a moment to let go of the glitches, so to speak, in your life and hit the update button, refresh, and call in, make space for new. So this full moon is in the sign of Virgo. Okay. And Virgo, you think the Virgin, the sovereign goddess. Now, this is coming into your full power, realizing that you don't have to depend on anyone or anything externally, that you are creating your world internally, and you have the power within you to create your reality. It is tapping into that infinite consciousness, that connection, that feminine energy that's connected to your intuition, the divine feminine, and seeing that river of wisdom, allowing it to flow, not trying to control it, not trying to logically think about it, just letting it flow, letting yourself open to these intuitive nudges. And strengthening yourself and your intuition to navigate through this energy. Okay. So Virgo is kind of over the mind body connection. And I'm just going to read something that I thought really resonated. I read this in our call today on the mastermind. This is from foreverconscious.com. And it says the cosmic energies flowing around this March 2025 eclipse indicate that something may be revealed to us that could cause a significant life shift. We may experience a deep aha moment or receive information that rattles the fabric of our being. Now, this sounds really negative, really scary, right? This is not, I mean, yes, it can be. It is a moment of darkness, so to speak. But on the other side of that is transformation, is a quantum shift. So these eclipses, the way that I look at them is quantum shifting on a mass scale. And so, in order for you to quantum shift, to transform into this improved version of your life, you have to release the things that are no longer aligned with that. And before you can release them, they have to become apparent. And sometimes we get signs telling us what needs to be fixed, corrected, released, and we ignore them and ignore them and ignore them. And so they get louder and louder and louder and can come to a head on a week like this where there's so much energy. Things can sort of boil over. And, you know, you think about the full moon and the moon like, affecting the tides in the ocean, and your body's made up of mostly water. It stirs things up and things start to rise to the top and they have to be dealt with. Okay. It's stuff that maybe you've pushed away for whatever reason, consciously or subconsciously, and it's coming to a head and you have to deal with it because this is out of alignment with where you want to be, with what you're calling in your life. And so the blood moon eclipse, it's pulling back the curtain, it's revealing whatever needs to be revealed so that you can move forward into this new chapter in your life. Now, in my personal experience, every single time I am dealing with something so emotionally draining, dramatic, something so seemingly awful and negative, on the other side of that is the biggest shift where like my whole life will change. We're talking a quantum shift to something so much better than I could even imagine. But to get to that point, I have to shed everything that's not aligning. And so that could look like leaving a job, ending a relationship, having a falling out, dealing with emotions, situations that you've pushed down and have never confronted. It can manifest in a lot of different ways. But the overall message is that things are going to get so much better than you can even imagine. You're having a dark night of the soul. It's not permanent. This is a cycle, and the cycle is going to end. Okay. You get through the eclipse, and yeah, there's going to be other eclipses and things going on, but this is a short term thing that you're navigating, and it is going to be so good on the other side of it. It's like you're in that valley, but right when you get through that is this big, beautiful, majestic mountain. Okay. I've seen that throughout my life. I've seen that throughout many people that I work with throughout the years. When you're going through these situations that are life changing, They're happening for you. And again, for me, what I learned is that if the universe is telling me what to do and giving me signs and giving me all these intuitive nudges and I don't act on them, then something drastic has to happen to motivate me to act on it or to move things out of the way, to create space, to put me, shove me onto this new path that's better. So it's just, it might feel like a rocky week. You know, if you've been feeling angry, I know I have had so much rage, like rage this week, more rage than I probably ever had. I told my husband I need to go to one of those places where you can throw plates on the wall and like break them just to get this out. And honestly, like that's very therapeutic because all it is energy. And when you don't process the energy and move through the energy, it gets stuck. And that causes, you know, things to happen. So punch a pillow, go throw plates at the wall at that place, or they have like axe throwing here. There's all kinds of things. Move your body, go for a run, dance. Any type of movement is helping you move through that energy. The last thing you want to do is just sit still and not process anything. Okay. If you feel like you have to cry, cry. If you feel like you have to scream, scream. You want to work through those emotions. Emotions don't last longer than 90 seconds. So let yourself feel it so it can pass, so it doesn't stay stored as stuck energy in your body. So allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to process, allow yourself the space to move through that anger or rage or sadness or whatever it is that's coming up. And the other thing is don't try to figure it out. Don't try to like understand why is this happening to me? Like, what's the lesson? What's coming next? That's none of your business right now. Okay. Right now, your business is to just move through the energy, really console yourself, give yourself a big, loving hug, give yourself space. Don't push yourself to do things you don't want to do. Just chill, take it easy, and give yourself space to process. That's all you need to do right now throughout the rest of this week. On the other side of that, you'll start to get intuitive nudges. You'll start to see the path unfold. Okay. So you don't have to worry about that. If you're unclear on what you want, don't worry about that right now. That's for the new moon. Don't worry about that right now with the full moon. Just process what's going on. Let yourself release and let go. And sometimes, like I said, that's messy. That's a fight. It's a breakup. It's losing something or whatever. And just let it happen. Like let the cards fall where they may. Don't try to control it. Just kind of let the chips fall so that you can move forward. Like the universe is kind of like clearing the slate for you. And the more you try to control it and especially like consciously try to manipulate the situation, the harder it's going to feel. Okay. So the main point that I feel like I got across in the call with the mastermind that I want to convey to all of you is that you're not alone. You are not alone. I'm going through it. The girls on the call are going through it. I'm sure you have friends, people in your personal life that may not tell you, they may not say out loud they're going through it, but trust me, they're going through it. Okay. This is happening on a mass scale. It is absolutely normal if you feel like very emotional, very angry, you feel like things are falling apart. Okay. It's happening on a mass scale. You are not alone. So give yourself space to process. If you have people that you can trust that are willing to hold space, like in this mastermind, you know, that's what we're all there for, is to be there for one another, support one another, hold space for one another. Use that, you know, allow yourself to be vulnerable and share. And sometimes that can be so therapeutic, just talking to someone else and knowing they're going through it too and you're not alone. Obviously, don't try to do this with people you don't trust or that aren't, you know, willing to hold space. So that's where, you know, you want to use your own discernment. All right, let me see what else I was going to talk about from this article. Yeah, so again, things that are painful or uncomfortable will be revealed, but just trust it's helping you shift to that higher timeline. Let's see. You might feel more connected. So the veil is thinner. So you might feel like you're more connected to the other side. Maybe some intuitive gifts are coming online. That's normal. So don't be scared of that or judge it or fear it. Just know like this is something we all can access. At times like this, it might feel easier because the veil is thinner. And then do allow yourself to look for the silver lining. Okay. So, for example, if there's someone in your life that has just not been there for your highest timeline, where it's like you dread being around them, they've caused a lot of issues in the past, and now things are coming to a head and you're having a falling out, the silver lining is great. Like now that person's clearing out of your life. You don't have to deal with them anymore. You can move forward without having that worry, that energy weighing you down. So that's one way of looking at it. Another thing is, and I will share my story in the future. I just now is not the time because it involves a lot more people than me. So, I mean, I don't want to keep you guys like hanging, but I will share it at some point in time. But what I saw as a silver lining is if something negative is revealed and you're like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Like, what the hell is going on? And it just seems so negative, so unfair. Maybe it's the silver lining is that you're seeing it now. You're seeing it before it gets to a point where you can't do anything about it. Maybe it's simply bringing the truth to light so that you can make decisions moving forward, and you don't stay in this toxic situation. So even though it could be really negative, hey, it's showing you something you needed to see. And someday you'll look back at it and think, thank God I saw that. That was revealed so that I could, you know, change my life, do things differently, end the cycle, whatever. And this could involve so many different aspects of life. But whatever's being revealed that seems so negative and dark is something that has to come out, right? It's the truth being, you're shining a light on it so that you can move forward and move on and not stay stuck in a shitty situation, basically. Okay, so that's just a little overview. And I thought that was important because, for the longest time, I felt like I was crazy. When I would experience the full moon, I felt like a crazy person. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why do I have all this rage? Why am I being such a bitch? And it wasn't until I learned that this correlates every time there's a full moon, I'm like a raging bitch, that I started realizing the effect it has on me. And now I kind of know, like, I kind of know what's coming. I know if I'm feeling really emotional, there's probably something happening astrologically. And it's empowering because you can use that energy and harness that energy to clear out, what's no longer serving you instead of letting it throw chaos in the way and you feel like you're a crazy person. So now to the technique. There's so many techniques that you can use. This one is called moon breathing, and I thought this would be perfect for the full moon. So this is a technique that has been around forever, ancient civilizations to now, and it helps to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. So your rest and digest. It takes you out of fight and flight and into rest and digest so that you can lower your blood pressure, lower your heart rate, rest, rejuvenate, the time of darkness, like the eclipse, it's like rejuvenate, pause, rest. It's all that energy. So what you do is you take your thumb and you close your right nostril with your thumb. And then you're going to inhale very slowly but deeply through your left nostril. Then you take your other thumb and you close your left nostril, and then you release, you exhale through your right nostril. And you're going to repeat the process for several minutes or until you feel better, like you've released. Okay. So once again, you close your right nostril with your right thumb. You inhale slowly and deeply through your left nostril. Then you close your left nostril and you release through your right nostril. Okay. And exhale slowly through your right nostril. That's it. Just keep going back and forth between the right and the left. And this will activate your parasympathetic nervous system. You will feel better. So just, do it for as long as you feel necessary. So that's just a little technique that works well. Try it out. Do your own little experiment. See how you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 before. See how you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 after. And if it works, it's a great little quick tool in your little toolkit for any time you're feeling stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, or any full moon where you want to activate that parasympathetic nervous system and get out of that fight or flight, high cortisol, high stress state. So I hope that that helps, and you're going to get through whatever it is you're going through. And on the other side is the most incredible transformation. Just trust that that's waiting for you. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you back here next time.